Are you ready?
Yep.
I'm Travis.
And I'm Emma.
And this is Bestie Approved. So we're getting started today, and this is now the third attempt at recording an episode. So that's been super fun, but we're excited.
Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay.
So do you want to start by introducing ourselves?
Sure.
Perfect.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah.
You need to go.
Yeah. So my name's Travis. I was a finance bro. That's how Emma and I met. We worked together in several circles of hell, actually. And after a stroke, actually, that Emma was involved in, I decided to go back to grad school, and now I'm doing my thing there. And I just needed an outlet to not shut up. And that's me.
I'm Emma, and I had a kid when I was 20, and that's kind of decided the rest of my adulthood. I met Travis because I, too, was a finance bro, unfortunately. I have escaped that. I'm a realtor now, so I'm kind of just working on my own time when I see fit. And I would also like an outlet for all of my thoughts. So here we are.
Here we are. So ultimately, we just wanted a space to yap, complain, and bring people together into our beautiful, chaotic lives.
Mm-hmm.
Bestie Approved is an hour at a minimum every week where Emma and I get together and we really just let you into the manic episode that is living in our heads.
Yeah, it's like any other, brain rot podcast. Except obviously we're funny and the best. And also we don't have any skeletons in our closet.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Can you imagine? I would love to be canceled, though. That's always been a dream of mine.
Would you really?
Yeah, I love the attention that it brings. No one was talking about them until they did something super fucked up.
But not no, but because I do love attention. I really do. I don't know that canceling's the way to go, though. That's me.
I think it might set me free. You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ. Okay, so this first episode is really just going to be purely vibes based. You're going to suffer with us, and it's going to be fun, and we're going to figure it out together, and we're eventually going to build something where we can interview people, and we can travel, and we can do a live show, and it can be cool and fun. But right now, it is literally us just hoping for the best.
Yep, and a day away.
So we have this game. It's called We're Not Really Strangers. And I thought it would be fun. Ella and I know each other better than anyone, but I thought it would be fun for the audience to get to know us a little bit through this game.
Yeah.
So it's a game where, because this is an audio medium and not a visual medium, so you can't see me pulling these cards out of this box, but it's got 3 sets of cards in it, and it starts off with level 1 being the least deep, the shallowest thing about the shallowest questions, Jesus Christ. And then it gets deeper from there. So we're gonna pull a fucking card from level 1, and it's gonna be the one I dropped on the floor.
And it's actually already one we've done before. I feel.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Oh, I have an answer that I hope you would answer for me. Is this goddamn baby shower you're going? Okay, so the question is, what's something you love but know not to invite me to? And Emma is doing the lion's share of the work for her cousin's baby shower this weekend, and I don't want a goddamn thing to do with it.
Mind you, I'm pregnant.
With child,
Okay.
has her own child.
I haven't even thought about my own baby shower, but also I hope your answer for me would be church. I wouldn't go
I don't love church though, so I
know, but I feel like,
would never invite anyone to church if I'm being honest.
oh, well, that's perfect. I would actually love the answer to this one. Who in my life do you think brings out the best in me?
Jack.
Yeah,
I think
I
Jack.
guess that's true.
I was gonna say me, but like I don't. I bring out the worst.
No. There are people who bring out the worst in me, but I don't even want to get into that this episode. You're going to have to subscribe.
That is a Patreon exclusive.
Okay.
Um,
You want to do number 2 and number 3, or are we good with the shallow?
we can. We have time.
Yeah.
Let's
we'll
go
space
from
them out.
let's talk about the origin story of Bestie Approved. So for months and months and months, I said we should start a podcast because what the world truly needs is 2 people with microphones talking to the goddamn world. I talked about it for months and months and months, and Emma said, sure, because she's blindly followed me into every goddamn thing I've ever done. So that's how we got here.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so the real truth, T, you can cut this if you want to. I don't even listen to podcasts. Okay? I'm not interested in what other people have to say.
I love podcasts.
I would love to have my voice heard. I would love to yap to the general population. If you gave me a microphone and a stage, I think give me 3 months before I am the most hated woman in the world or the most loved. I don't know, but I would love to get my thoughts out there because I'm just a mom in Westfield, Indiana. Like,
But you're not, though, because you're not a Westfield mom.
oh. Yeah, that's fair. You know what gets me? Okay, so the school I went to in high school was uppity for a public school. Like, their nose turned up at everybody, but it's been that way for generations.
Yeah.
And what gets me about where I live now, and now that my son is in school, is that it hasn't been that way for generations. This town is just building up. Everything is brand new.
This was a farm town 6 years ago.
Yeah, right? But everyone is acting worse than where I went to high school. Like, they are so... And it's the assuming everyone has a stay-at-home parent. It's the...
It's not assuming. It's a level of expectation that comes from, I think, a place rooted deeply in misogyny and hating themselves.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, I swear to God.
I agree, and I think that that's so funny because also at the same time, if you have a stay-at-home dad, that is it's the second it's the second coming of Jesus.
Oh, wait,
no,
what?
Everyone is obsessed with them as if that man did not have any part in having those kids. People are obsessed with a stay-at-home dad. He is doing the Lord's work.
Okay, I see where you're... So here's my thing with that, because, and this is going to lead into eventually an actual planned segment that we have, but the thing that I have about this, like, difference between stay-at-home moms and stay-at-home dads, where it's like it's an expectation, and like you're not really a good mom if you're not staying at home with your kids, which is very gross. But if you're a stay-at-home dad, it is like, look at all he's doing. He is sacrificing his right to go and earn a living. And God damn it, if it doesn't, oh, it pisses me off. But like,
and I'll say it's that way for parenting in general. If a mom takes their kid to the park by herself, that's expected. That's normal. That's whatever.
Right.
A dad takes his children to the park, and it's like the ladies will swarm him. Everyone's obsessed. Obsessed. What?
Something so sick. When this is someone you and I both know. We were talking about how she had just like given birth, and they were like coming home from the hospital, and he was carrying like whatever the thing is that goes in the car that holds the baby.
The car seat?
I don't fucking have kids. And so he's taking the car seat in. And she said watching him with the car seat, like, got her going like you wouldn't believe. And I was like, you just gave birth to it. Like, ew. Why is that so
I don't know. It
exciting?
really irks me because you know what? A man has never popped a boner from watching a mom be a mom.
Oh, I can definitively tell you.
If anything, it's
It's a
the
boner killer.
opposite. If anything, it's, oh, she's washed up now. You know what I
That
mean?
thing's loose.
Yeah, exactly. But a man does one little thing, and we're like, ooh.
Figured out a car seat. God damn it. So part of what we want to do with this podcast is we really have two segments that we've been very excited about. One is really unpacking everything in the world that we don't understand, and there's a lot. We have a running list that includes airplanes and the miracle of flight, wind, weather,
The ocean,
space, psychics, astrology, health. A lot of things in general we just don't understand, and we want to learn about that and get better. But another thing that we want to do, another segment, is complaining. And I feel like this is the perfect time to segue into what we're complaining about, because you have a massive complaint.
a big one. The reason I'm on one today, specifically about the stay-at-home parent expectation, right, is my son is in kindergarten. And every single child is expected to come on Monday with a cardboard car. It needs to be constructed. It needs to be painted. It needs to be big enough for them to fit in to run, but not too big, and lightweight enough for them to carry as they run, right? And the way, it's like, obviously not everyone can pull that off, right? Like, that's just impossible.
Insane.
But on the sheet that we got, your other option, it said, we really, really want everyone to make a car with their family. But if you really can't do that, you lazy bitch, then someone from the PTO will take your kid out of recess and we'll figure it out. So it was like so guilt trippy, like no one's going to do that.
The way that it basically said, you should probably kill yourself if you can't figure this out.
You're a bad mom. like,
goddamn.
Yeah. Horrible.
So after this, Emma has to go to a fucking Hobby Lobby and pick up a hot glue gun because
I feel like I'm really coming into my suburban momitude with the purchase of a hot glue gun. Like, it's kind of over for me.
Cricket's coming next.
Yeah.
Cricket and a pyramid scheme.
Mind you, I tried to do this with super glue. Apparently, girls, you cannot hold cardboard together with super glue.
We're gonna get comments saying, well, yeah, obviously.
I
didn't fucking know.
How can you know? And I'll tell you, it'll work if it's like flat side on flat side. But if you're trying to connect the corners, it won't work.
Can you explain to me how super glue, like, if you put it on your hand, like, it's
right,
you're losing a layer of skin.
Right.
If you put it on cardboard, it's the most delicate thing on God's green earth, and it's not. Like, I don't get it. I don't buy it.
Don't understand it either. But
you want to know something I don't understand? Super glue.
Me neither. I will tell you, I had super glue all over my hands today. I don't know what got it off. I wish I could tell you. And I have 2 stab wounds from the box cutter. And we have 2 out of 4 sides done, and nothing is connected. So, hooray.
It's a real analogy for our lives.
Right. So for those of you keeping score, yes, that is due on Monday. Baby shower tomorrow. Mother's Day on Sunday. I'm just making it through. What do you want to complain about, Trav?
I'm looking at my list.
Get out of my system.
I'm glad. Do you feel better?
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm going to complain about, because this happened again yesterday, walking into the gym. By the way, walking into the fucking gym of all places, where someone goes up to the door, completely able-bodied, completely like walking, and says to themselves in their early to mid 40s, I need to push the button that opens the door for people in wheelchairs because I'm too goddamn lazy to open the door myself. And I don't know why it's a trigger for me. I don't know why it makes me so mad. I don't know why it's so infuriating, but I do know that it takes so much longer at Lifetime because those doors are so fucking heavy there. Yeah. And it takes, like, I'm not shitting you, 15 seconds for that door to open. And so I'm sitting there just like fuming. And I'm like, you're going into workout, you fuck.
Yeah, like you can't open a door, or like you think it has germs. Well, so does everything else you're about to touch. It's like I've never understood that, and I would argue it starts in elementary school, because I remember in elementary school our teachers would push that when we were all like as a class coming out.
We didn't have those at my elementary.
Oh, we did, and ever since then, people were pushing that to get through. But I think it's as irritating as people who all of the stalls are open in a bathroom and they take the handicap stall. That is also infuriating.
Yeah. The only time you ever actually need to take the handicap stall is if, I mean, obviously if you're like able-bodied is what I'm saying, but is when you have to change your clothes. You have to do something. Sure, fine.
Sure.
Leave it for people that truly benefit from it. Fuck you.
Because what are you gonna do when you get out of that stall after your little pee and you see someone in a wheelchair just waiting?
That is, and I'm not exaggerating, like I cannot imagine a more anxiety-inducing feeling.
Right, like why would you even give yourself the possibility of that happening to you? I don't understand it. I don't know.
They can't like, anyway, okay, so there's that. We've complained, and this is just, so complaining is what we do. It's fun. We love it. Complaining makes us feel alive, just like gossip.
Good for the mind, good for the soul. I would argue a lot of complaining is gossip. We were gossiping about that man at the gym, and we were gossiping about my son's school.
We typically only gossip. Like we traffic in it. We are not of our higher selves in that regard.
No. That's okay, though. I think if I pretended to be in my higher self and never complained anymore, I would just build up and build up and build up and build up until all I do all day is complain at everyone. So I think if anything, it's healthy. I'm getting it out.
No, I think you would be the person that's like always like, they're like, oh, she's starting. She's starting.
Yeah, right?
Like, it's just like you're always waiting for it. Like you're just going to scream at no one.
Yeah. And I'm already kind of like that. You don't want that for me.
I don't want that. So in a year, what's your goal for the podcast?
I'd like to be on video. I would like to have a set sort of regimen for things we don't understand, because I think that could be so big. It could be like what dictates who our guests are, and it could be like a research type of thing, like something we prepare for, because the more I learn about some of this stuff, the more confused I am, and I think we need to talk that out. For instance, the ocean. I found out the other day that orcas have leg bones and they just refuse to evolve them out.
I don't know where to put that. I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, I don't.
I was going in the direction of the ocean is deeper than Mount Everest is tall, and I don't really know where to put that in my mind, so I just can't.
It's terrifying.
But those are two things about the ocean that I don't understand or accept.
Right. So just for a little taste, that's like the introduction to things we don't understand, but I think that would be nice, and I think that in a year we should have had one at least little on the road situation.
Oh, absolutely.
What are your goals for the podcast in a year?
I want to interview someone that I like really love or really look up to. Like I don't have like anyone specific in mind, but like
you want to know the first person who popped into my head?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
For myself, The first person that popped into my head was Giselle Bryant.
Oh my God. Yeah. So also, yes.
I love her so much.
And we'll get into the Real Housewives and our obsession with that too. But having an interview with someone that I think is really cool, I think would be amazing. And also, yeah, like taking it on the road, like seeing where the vibe takes us.
Yeah. I think part of that too is like getting our own setup instead of renting.
Big thanks to the Carmel Clay Public Library for having a digital media center where we can record.
Yeah, shouts out.
But yeah, we're buying a fucking microphone. This is insane.
Well, I mean, we're going to have to interview anyone. It's like, yes, Miss Giselle Bryant, please meet me at the library.
Can you come to Carl, Indiana and like just have a sit with us? I would kill myself.
Yeah.
So that I think it's important to mention that this is because I mentioned Trina like out of nowhere. This is a Trina appreciation podcast, and if you don't like her, you are not welcome here.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, that's just hilarious to it. And I know that it has been probably 15 years since she released a song. I could be wrong. I have no idea. But I do know that I miss deeply listening to the filthiest lyrics on God's green earth in 8th grade. I miss it. Are you looking up when her last?
Yeah. It looks like 2014. Well, okay. Dynasty 6 EP came out in 2016.
No, she released something with Candace from the Real Housewives of the Smick. Yes.
Yeah. So that was probably in the same
She
area, 2016-ish.
Drive Back was 2020. It had to have been 2020. Because Real Housewives of Potomac didn't start till like 2019. I'm sure it was 2018. Because I lived at Solana when it was in its first season.
Released in 2021.
Fuck yeah.
Trina's out here, and I feel like once you're Trina level, you don't need to release anything because like you're making money off of the fact that you're Trina.
I think that also brings us back to, because this has been two connections now to the Real Housewives. I have a sick obsession with the Real Housewives, to the point of like I've seen every episode probably at a minute 40 times.
Yeah.
Like, and it's to the point where when Emma and I shared an office at our second stint in A Circle of Hell, she would sit there and listen to me gasping at like what was going on, and she knew full well that I had already seen the episode, and she would really just sit there and be like, wow, they really found their target demographic with you.
I felt that way about the Traders too.
Yeah.
I feel like Traders was made for Travis.
100%. Because I
You know what we need on the podcast? Andy Cohen. I'm obsessed with Andy Cohen.
Also.
Yeah.
He's looking. You like it. I love it.
I also love The Real Housewives, but I only watched it like in passing for years until I binged all of The Real Housewives of Potomac. And now I am on season 1 of Salt Lake City, and I have opinions, and unfortunately no one I know agrees with me. We need Lisa Barlow on the podcast.
Maybe. I would rather have Heather Gay, but
I love Heather.
Love Heather. But I mean, maybe we'll go to Salt Lake City. Maybe we can interview her at Beauty Lab and Laser. Can you imagine?
I want to go to Beauty Lab and Laser, and I just want to tell her, give it to me.
Fucking inject it.
Yeah, whatever you want, whatever you think I need. Really. Give me the Jen Shaw knee special.
Oh, shit. You know Jen Shaw's getting out of prison this year?
I know. Wait, I thought it was next year. I don't know. We're looking it up. Hold on.
literally the first thing that comes up is Jen Shaw release date. I'm sorry, November 3rd of 2026. You're right, but goddamn,
I am so obsessed with Jen Shaw.
I
really can't talk about Jen Shaw on the podcast or I'll get canceled. I'm so sorry.
no, what you're getting at is like she served a need that like all first and second year housewives really, really lean into. Where it's like, I'm on TV and I'm going to be this big personality, and she just leaned so heavily into that and never grew out of it.
Never scared of the mess. Never scared.
To the point where she said, yeah, like I'm gonna defraud elderly people to fund this lifestyle so they will put me on this television show. And to that I say, that's commitment. I don't know if I respect it, but that's commitment.
Creativity and innovation, it is the American way.
But I can definitively tell you, I would 1,000,000% write her a letter in prison.
100%. And I'm so happy she's in there with Elizabeth Holmes, my two little fraudsters. Love ya.
If I'm being 1,000% honest, I don't know if I fully understand why Elizabeth Holmes is in prison. I say that knowing full well I'm taking the LSAT to apply to law school.
What did she do?
And it was fraud. Yeah, but like,
what?
Did she defraud people?
I think so. Or she was embezzling.
There was no money though, I thought. What's her name?
Convicted of defrauding investors and is...
Oh, it was securities fraud. That's why they got her, because they got wealthy people.
Holmes and her company made numerous false claims about the Edison's capabilities, including that it could detect hundreds of diseases with just a few drops.
Oh, yeah, that's what that movie was about.
Yeah. Well, anyways, we all lie sometimes.
Truly to God, honestly, if you're going to lie to an investor, I guess.
It sounds like the investor should be more intelligent.
It sounds like they should have done their due diligence.
Yeah, look into it a little more, guy. Why are you just believing her?
We're not being our higher selves here.
That's okay. I've never defrauded anyone, for the record.
Same.
Neither has Travis.
Love that so much about us, actually.
I'm not saying I would never. It depends on the situation.
I think it depends. Like if I hate him enough, I'm like, yeah, I'll fucking lie to you. I don't care.
I would never defraud someone who's in a lesser position than I.
No, you can't.
In any kind of way. But I would defraud a billionaire in a heartbeat. Unless it's Rihanna, I'm not going to do that to her. But like,
I feel like I used to feel that way, but like, you know exactly who just came to mind. I couldn't do it to the person that I just. So Emma and I knew an incredibly wealthy man at our second circle of hell, and I mean, like so much money, like didn't know what to do with all the money he had, like to the point where he was like writing checks for $1 million because someone wanted to build a theater at a school.
He bought a mountain.
He bought a golf course when he was drunk. And I say to myself, oh yeah, he's 1,000% the type of person I could defraud, but I couldn't do it to him.
Because he's too old. I'm going to be so honest. He's too old for me to defraud. I feel like he's not mentally there. But like Elon Musk.
60s.
He's 75.
He's not. Yeah.
Are you serious? He was 74 when we worked there.
I don't think he was.
I looked it up countless times because you never believe me.
I'm going to cut that because this entire time, the way that I have believed his birthday was 1965, and I thought he was a year older than my father. And I was just like, God, he has aged terribly. Oh, shit.
No, this is a man who's 75 years old and he's had 3 strokes. So he's not in any mental state to be defrauded.
So speaking of strokes, I forgot to tell the story when we were trying to be too rigid, but Emma and I have a fun little experience that I think might be the reason we're so close. So Emma and I shared an office together when we worked at a smaller financial firm. And I very vividly remember just sitting there one day and I said, I feel a little off. And I remember looking over at Emma and saying, hey, do you think I'm having a stroke right now? And her answer to me was, well, I think you're the only one that can answer that question. but let's go somewhere. Let's do this. And
He
then
is pale and not normal. Anyway.
and then I'm gonna let you take over the story now because I think your retelling of it is probably one of my favorite experiences.
So imagine me looking at a pale, undone
Unwell.
Travis, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to take you to the hospital. Please just sit your little butt right there, and I will be right back as I have to inform the masses as to where we are going.
So for context, this office it had 8 rooms in it. Like it was
Tiny.
probably 2,400 square feet at the most that Emma had to walk to like 8 other people and say, hey, I'm going to run Travis to the hospital.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So
in my mind, by the way, it felt like you were gone for 20 minutes at this point. Go ahead.
45 seconds. The way I went to our boss, not even really our boss. I don't know what his title was at that point.
Some man.
It was literally across the office, right? It's like 20 feet, right? Okay, I open his door. I say, I'm taking Travis to the hospital. He goes, what's wrong? I said, he's having a stroke, which makes him the 3rd one in that office to have a stroke, by the way. And then I go right next door where 2 of our work friends they shared an office too. I open the door. I say, Travis is having a stroke. I'm taking him to the hospital. Bye. Okay? And then I run back to my office. I get my stuff. I'm talking, right? I don't remember what I was saying. Probably like, I need to start my car. I need to pee or something like that. And then I look up and Travis is gone.
And where did he go, you might ask?
Gone. And so I check his location, as one does. He is already at the hospital. He has driven across the whole of downtown Indianapolis, parked his car, not well, but parked, and walked into the emergency room by himself mid-stroke. So I FaceTime him, and I'm like,
you son of a bitch is exactly what he said.
I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you other than the stroke? Why would you drive yourself? And to which he says, I'm fine.
Well, they hadn't taken me back yet. That was the thing. So, like, mind you, go ahead. You tell me. But
mind you, the left side of his face is not moving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the left side of my face isn't moving, but like they had not I think I was like getting ready to walk up to say, hey, I think I might be having a stroke to the woman. So I get up to the check-in thing, and also, by the way, like walking into this hospital, there's security, there's like a cop, and this guy was like, all right, like they have a metal detector, right? And I was walking in, and I very vividly remember saying, do I need to take my shoes off? And he looks at me dead in the face and goes, it's not the fucking airport. And I was like,
Perfect.
you're right. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. So I walk up to the desk and I said, hey, I think I might be having a stroke. I don't know. And so she stands up, comes around the thing, and then she there's a test that they do where you put both of your hands out in front of you or both of your arms out in front of you, and then you close your eyes. And based on what you do while your eyes are closed is what they determine whether or not it's an emergency or not. So apparently one of my arms just drifted down. And she says, let's get you in a wheelchair. And so she puts me in a wheelchair. She's taking me back. And that's when I'm like, well, that's so weird because I can walk. Why is she acting like... And that's when I start to panic and I'm screaming and I'm crying and I'm throwing up because I had a stroke. All that being said, it was all things considered, it was as minor could have been. And I'm fine now. You can't kill evil that easily. But I think that might be one of my favorite Travis and Emma stories.
And some further context to that story, maybe 3 months before that. Maybe.
Not even. It was 6 weeks.
Yeah. I drove one of our coworkers to this very same hospital because he was having a stroke and he left his gun in my car. To which I said,
You said, here, can you take this for a minute?
I carried it as far as I could away from my body and just put it in the office. I was like, please, please, God. So yeah, never going to that hospital again in my life. And also, if you're having a stroke or think you're having a stroke, don't get behind the wheel. Thank you.
Yeah, a PSA for everyone involved. If you ever think there's a potential you might be having a stroke, please do not drive. But here we are. Also, a funny little anecdote. So Emma said that she had to stop and check my car to see if it was still running because even outside of having a stroke, it wouldn't be the first time she's gone out to my car, and it has just been out there running for hours on end. And she said, well, at least you turned your car off when you had the stroke.
Yeah. I'm so glad. It was over the line and crooked, but it was off.
It was there. I made it.
You made it.
And what a day to
My
walk out.
God. Oh my God.
What else
My
is on
God.
your mind tonight?
Um,
Do you need to do another level?
yeah.
Here we go. Level 2, which is connection. What have you learned to accept about yourself with time?
I've accepted it, but I don't know that everyone else has, is the anxiety of it all. One thing you need to know about me is I am a chronically anxious girl.
She's always in her own head.
And I have learned to cope, but I have like disembodied it from myself. So it's more like an object that I deal with, and I've accepted that she is part of me. But that took a long time because for the longest time I was like, it's everyone else. Everyone else is so horrible, and that's why I'm anxious.
That's true.
But I have come to terms with the fact that it's just part of me. Yeah.
I think you're perfect.
Oh, this is a juicy one.
That's it.
What's a conversation you're avoiding?
Oh, fuck. What's a conversation I'm avoiding? How bad we are at podcasting.
Yeah, but I think that practice makes perfect, and we've never done this before.
No, not at all.
So it's okay.
It's okay.
We'll get there.
No, conversation I don't really avoid
It doesn't have to be with
conversation.
me.
Yeah, like with
Yeah.
anyone, you know this about me. Like I am, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm bad at avoiding.
No, so I just think that that's a bad thing. I think more people should be that way. You're very confrontational, I'm very
That's fair, yeah.
non-confrontational. I will just like sweep it right under the rug.
No, the way I'm like, this rug has a bump in it, god damn it.
Yeah, I'm not that way. But I wish I were.
I think that's why we complement each other so well. So if you're still listening to us, thank you for suffering through that. Hopefully my editing skills are better than my podcasting skills in this first episode, but we'll see.
I think it'll just get easier as time goes on. And obviously, as we're more well-versed and as we have a more... Because this is the introduction, right? We're just like trying to get people to understand who we are and what this is.
And by the way, also as we get more comfortable, like this is a fucking growing experience.
Yes. And once we have the structure of like, this is what we're talking about today and this is what we're doing, and we're like more prepared, I think it'll be a lot easier to edit and a lot easier to listen to as well. But that's just us. That's us.
That's us. So in the meantime, follow us on Instagram at Bestie Approved Podcast. Subscribe to the podcast. Tell your messiest friends about it.
Yeah, come for the goss, stay for the girls.
We love you guys. Say Bestie Approved out there.
Mwah.